the weekly as a live this week. I also am going to have another video that will play for you tomorrow evening, also to do with the weekly. So we're going to show the cards and everything instead of me this time. So I'm here in case anybody was wondering. I'm still here. We're going to do some charms. We're going to do some tarot and some oracle for your week ahead. We're going to have each sign be displayed, so that way if anybody's joining us, they will know exactly what sign we're starting with. I will timestamp these in the comments for anybody who watches this on replay who wants to see what their weekly reading is. So we're going to start with the sign of Aries. Again, I'm going to put timestamps in the comments after this plays out. And then if you guys would like to book a personal, those aren't available in today's live, please email me. I will put that in the description box as well, or in the chat box, so that you guys can email me if you'd like to book a reading. My readings start at $10 for a mini reading, $25 for a full tarot spread, and then it is $100 for a mediumship reading. So I'm gonna type some stuff in the chat really quick while we wait for everybody to get notified that I went live. And then we're gonna get started with the sign of Aries. I'm on my laptop over here as well. There we go, that's what I'm looking for. Okay, there we go. So now I can see both. I can see what's going on in here, and I can see what's going on in the chat. Oh, and it's got a weird orientation. I don't like that. Let's see if I can change this really quick. Probably not, but maybe. Did that help? Did not. Okay, well, we're gonna have like a wonky video portion of this, so apologies. I'm not sure how to fix the orientation otherwise, so we're gonna roll with it. We're gonna just make it work today. Okay, so we're gonna start with the sign of Aries. Let me go ahead and put the timestamp in really quick. So this is the first time we're doing these live. Normally I do them in a video, so we'll see how it works out. We'll see if we like it or not. We're going to start with Aries. So let's see, what is the energy? What do they need to work on this week? Forgiveness brings freedom. So somewhere in your life, you're needing to work on freedom and forgiveness. We're going to clear any negative energy out, Aries. So where do you need to break some chains? Because I feel like that's really what I'm picking up with this, is that you really need to break some chains. You need to set yourself free from things that aren't working well somewhere in your life. We're going to get 7 cards for your week ahead. What do we need to see? Okay, there's a stack. Ooh, Judgment in reverse. Okay, Aries. So the first thing I'm seeing is that you do have some good news that's coming in, right? Because we want to make sure that things are good. I feel like we can't see all the cards here, so let me try and navigate this here. This is why I normally do these as videos, as you guys can see. This is why, because it's like I need to make adjustments. So we'll see what's going on here. So there is some good news that's coming in. I do think that you guys have a lot of things that are worrying you or troubling you with the 9 of Swords. So there's some things that you need to like let go of that are bothering you, and you need to be logical about how you actually make some changes. I do think that some of you are either really confused. I do think there was some sort of either argument or falling out between you and another person, and so that's creating some problems in your life. We have Judgment in the reverse, which is not great. This is like you're dealing with some karma. Neptune moved into Aries on, what was it, January 26th. And so you could be dealing with some karma coming back around. Good or bad? It's not always bad, but sometimes it can be. So we want to make adjustments, all right? There could be this possessive or controlling energy. Could be you, it could be somebody around you, and I almost get the sense that this person kind of weakens your energy or makes you feel weak somehow. So we want to turn things around, right? We're practicing some sort of forgiveness, and that's going to help us achieve some sort of freedom from whatever this mess actually is. Let's see what charms we have. Okay. So we have a squirrel, so preparing for something. Spirit's giving me the word disaster. Maybe this situation feels kind of like a disaster to you. I do think that for some of you, you're dealing with a twin flame connection. We have two little angels. What's funny is this little angel is like whispering in the other one's ear. So listen to what Spirit's telling you, especially with judgment in the reverse, okay? You really need to listen to what Source is telling you, and if they're telling you to get away from something or someone or let go of something, then you need to do so. The Hamsa hand tells you that you're protected on all avenues, that there's nothing that's going to come towards you that's going to harm you. There are some lessons, however, unfolding. And we're trying to fix something that's maybe broken, okay? And so we need to repair things. We do have a wolf here. So you could be a bit of a loner. You could be also finding your pack. I also feel like they're giving me the words howling at the moon, so maybe there's some frustrations that you're trying to alleviate. All in all, this week, I feel like your biggest lesson is that you need to break some chains. You need to listen to what Spirit's trying to tell you, and you need to let go of all of the other chaos that might be surrounding you. That's what we have for Aries. All right. Next sign is going to be Sagittarius. So give me just a moment while I clean all of this stuff up. Hope everybody's doing good today. Happy Sunday. We're going to try and do these as lives, but I can't promise that it'll be every week that's going to be a live. So the sign that we're currently on is Sagittarius. I will timestamp it in the comments for you guys. Welcome to everybody. Apologies for the camera angle. I thought it was going to be in the upright and it's like sideways, so apologies. We're winging it today. All right, Sag, your theme. Your mind is an altar to source energy. Really important that if your thoughts become clouded or if your thoughts become something that feels chaotic or negative, that we do something to help change that, because we want to keep our thoughts clean so that we're connected to divine energy so we can manifest the things we want. Sagittarius, what is the energy this week? What's the energy this week for Sagittarius? Is it buffering? Ugh, this darn thing. Sagittarius, what is the energy? Wow, okay. Start with the Lovers. Okay, Sag, you might have you might have love on the brain. Let's see if I could do this without burning it. Oh, there we go. All right. Well, I do think that you are going to have some big decisions when it comes to love this week, Sag. So the Lovers is an indication that some things might be changing in a love situation or relationship. I also feel like there could be some big decisions being weighed when it comes to love and romance. So however that happens to apply for you, choose wisely. Remember to keep your thoughts clean. I feel like you're really burnt out and exhausted, so this might be a time that you need to rest and regroup. I feel like you're kind of burning the candle at both ends, and that's not going to help you very much going forward. So important that you kind of take some downtime for yourself. We have the Empress in reverse. My least favorite way to see her. So there's blocks in creativity. We could be struggling with things like infertility. She can be a hovering helicopter parent. She can be a bit narcissistic. We don't want to be in that energy. We've got to flip the script quite literally and put her back in her divine power and energy. But something is keeping you stuck. So what is it? Is it love? Is it you? Is it you're burnt out? Whatever those things happen to be, we've got to get things back on track so we can become the best version of us. There's some sort of confusion in a love situation or relationship, and I do think that they're giving me the word held hostage. That's bizarre. Maybe love makes you feel like you're a hostage. I don't like that for you at all. That's not cool. But what I am picking up is that maybe things need to change, or maybe there needs to be movement where things have been stuck and stagnant. No movement forward, right? Things are just kind of in limbo. So while you might not feel like you're brave enough to make these changes, you are. So I feel like the biggest thing is that you're going to need to really refocus your energy this week. You're going to need to clear your mind, most of all, in order for things to actually change. What's going on for Sag? All right, so things will be taking off. Things will be moving forward for you, like a rocket ship, right? You're going to go in a totally different direction. I do think that a love relationship might really take off as well. We have the dinosaur, so you're never too old for things to change, for love to find you, or success. I do think that it's taken a long time for these changes to happen, though, but here's your metamorphosis, and you're being challenged to change what doesn't work, right? You're strong enough, so do what you need to do. And we have the sword. Cut away anything that doesn't serve your highest good this week. Remember, thoughts become things, so keep your mind clear and positive so that we can manifest what we want. That's what we have for Sag. All right, let me write down the time stamps here. All right, next up is Leo. So we're going to do Leo next. This is a lot harder to do all of this live, to clean everything up and all that stuff. So these probably won't be like an every week thing that we do it this way, but we'll see what happens. All right, so Leo is up next. Let's see what's going on. What's the theme for Leo this week? What's everybody up to today? Hopefully you're having a good day. Hopefully everybody had a decent Valentine's Day. Ours was real low-key, nothing too exciting. But that's the way I like them. All right, let's see for Leo. Ooh, Leo, you got the same one. Your mind is an altar to source energy. So, Leo, are we thinking positive or are we thinking negative? We want it to be positive, right? No negativity over here. All right, what's going on for Leo? You've been waiting for something for a long time. Your ships are starting to come in. So any sort of delays in your life are going to be proven necessary, right? Like it was delayed for a reason. There's definitely always a reason why things don't happen as we want them or expect them to. Ooh, and something's not quite finished in your world yet. And we're working on healing, okay? All right. So, Leo, I really think that you're trying to close out a chapter in your love life, maybe something that really broke your heart, and you're working on healing, but something's really imbalanced here. So if you're dealing with courts, contracts, or legalities, it doesn't look like it goes in your favor. I hate that. But I do think that there is the possibility that somebody might even be going to jail. So that's interesting. Okay. So we have some financial struggles here that are going to get ironed out, whether that comes through courts, contracts, or closing a chapter. I do feel like there's a ton of confusion here. Maybe things are really up in the air right now. Try and stay positive. Expect the best possible outcome, right? Because our thoughts become things, and right now it looks like things are clouded. We can't see the forest through the trees. There's a lot of things up in the air, and there's a lot of unknowns. So we need to break a pattern, is what it looks like. Be careful because there could be some sort of actual intervention here through the courts or a contract, and I don't feel like this is something that goes in your favor, unfortunately. However, the positive is that we've waited for the money part to change, so I do feel like there's financial struggle that's ending. We are letting go of toxicity, okay? Toxic relationships, cycles, whatever it happens to be, things that keep us stuck, trapped, or bound. We're confused about this. We need to close this chapter, right? Because we have the death card here. So this is what needs to exit your life. I feel like you're confused or heartbroken about a love situation. Maybe there's a divorce. Maybe it was a toxic relationship that you're ending. But regardless, there's lots of things that will be exiting your life. On the 17th, we start the Chinese New Year, which is in the year of the fire horse. So there could be things exiting your life really early in this week. And I feel like you really need to allow them to leave. Let's get some charms. All right. So we have the Onion. There's many layers to this situation. I do feel like you're kind of learning things about yourself. Someone could be spying on you. Again, it could have to do with courts or contracts, right? Somebody's kind of watching you, quite literally. You're protected from negativity. Just know that you need to cut these situations off, especially if they're toxic. Someone really thinks you're a catch, or there is baseball somehow is significant to you. There could be an ex, quite literally, that's spying on you in some way, shape, or form. I do seriously pick up the energy that someone might be incarcerated. And we have the Bicycle. So we're gaining some forward progress and momentum here. Things are going to start moving forward. And the Cat. So you either have like the Witch's Familiar, you have a friendly little energy spirit that's around you, or somebody could have a cat as a pet. Interesting reading for Leo. Let's get some timestamps. All right, next up are water signs. Again, I'm timestamping these, so after the live is over, if you missed your sign, you can go through in the comments and you can rewatch it and you can skip around at that point. Okay, fire signs are done. Next up, we have Cancer. These are sun, moon, and rising signs, so take what fits, leave the rest. Personals are open, just not during today's live. If you'd like to book a personal tarot mediumship or charm reading, or all three, shoot me an email. It is pinned in the comments. That's my email. That's how you book with me. Cancer, let's see what's going on for you. All right, what does Cancer have? I am supported on my path. You could be seeing dragonflies in any way, shape, or form, either in the 3D or on social media. That is a winged creature, so angel, energetic spirit that comes through, showing you that you are being guided on your path and supported. What's happening for Cancers next 7 days? Cancer, what's the energy for you next 7 days? Justice in the reverse. Okay, so there's a lot of things that I feel like kind of get a little wonky this week for the collective. Wow, all of these are in reverse, so my deck must be flipped around. So we're going to actually turn these. All right. There we are now. Okay. So I do think that for some of you, you're dealing with courts, contracts, or legal issues, legal struggles in some way, shape, or form. And I feel like you're really extremely burnout. And so it's almost like you just need a break, right? It's like, can I just take a day? Yes, you absolutely can. But I feel like once you hit pause, that's when this communication is coming in. So there might be some quick communication. It could be in the form of a spiritual message. It could be you're notified about something going on with courts, contracts, or legal issues, some sort of justice being served, okay? And someone really doesn't want things to change. Their guard's super, super high, right? The walls are up. And so this is an indication we might need to soften. All right, something is about to be found out and illuminated. There might be some secrets. Spirit's giving me the word hidden agendas. So watch out for anybody who's trying to be deceptive or pull the wool out over your eyes, because there's definitely something that you don't see clearly yet. The keyword there is yet, because it is going to change for you. We do have the Seven of Pentacles. So you're going to have to decision this week about an area of your life of concern. It could have to do with love and romance. It could be money, because we do have some pentacles in the reading. But I feel like whatever this happens to be, you have to get the facts first before you can decide. And then you have to decide whether it's worth your time in investing in this or not. And what Spirit's giving me is it's a job. So you're going to have to decide whether this is the right path for you, or if Spirit's trying to get you to shift direction. Remember, once you make that decision, it's not going to be an overnight success for you. It's going to take some time. So slow and steady wins the race. Keep plugging away at things that are important for you, and eventually you will get there. All right, what do we need to see for one. A unicorn. So unicorns are mysterious and magical, and I feel like something's going to be illuminated that kind of shows you the magic again. So whatever that happens to be for you, Cancer, you need to make sure that you have the facts in order to decide and then communicate effectively. Know that Spirit is supporting you on your path. All right, so let's get a timestamp. All right, next up is Pisces, my home team, Pisces. Let's see what we've got going on. I feel like I need a much larger desk today. We'll get there eventually. Okay, Pisces, you are up next. Let's see what your energy is. Pisces, Sun, Moon, Rising, and Venus. What is the energy this week for Pisces? My mind as a source is an altar to source energy. We've had that a few times in the fire signs as well. So I feel like really grounding, clearing, meditating, clearing your energy, right, is super, super important this week for all signs. Because we're at the tail end of the snake year, right? So officially it starts on the 17th, which is Tuesday. So we have some things that are trying to exit. Some of that could be negative ways of thinking. So we want to make sure that we're changing things to the positive. All right, Pisces, what do we need to see? What do we need to know next 7 days? Teamwork. All right. What else? Finding our confidence. Okay. So Pisces, I really strongly get the sense that you're going to be collaborating with somebody of importance is the word that Spirit gives me. I feel like you're going to know instinctually who these people are that you're supposed to work with and who maybe you're not supposed to work with. So be paying attention. If something feels off, if your spidey senses are tingling, don't discount that. Don't ignore that. It's going to be important for you to make good decisions so that you are in alignment, okay? And the best way to do that, ground, clear, and meditate your energy. All right. So Queen of Wands in the reverse. She's lacking her confidence. There's something that maybe like knocked you down a rung. I feel what they're showing me is a ladder and somebody like missing a step and kind of falling backwards. So I do feel like something kind of, they're giving me the words crushed your ego. I don't know that it's necessarily ego. I feel more like it's your confidence that was kind of taking a hit. So whatever that was, you're going to find that again. I feel like you're going through some sort of change here, and the spark of creativity is coming back to you. So expect some changes. I do think that you're going to be working on you, really, not like big projects right now. I feel like it's more inward stuff that I'm picking up. So the spark of creativity, birthing new creations, following your passions, or a passionate new encounter, right? But the confidence needs to be there. I feel like that's exactly what this person might be looking for, is confidence. So emit that to the best of your ability. You can do it. We do have a wish fulfillment coming in, and it could lead to your happily ever after here. So that's interesting. Could be, you know, this passion project. It could be that by you chasing your dreams and following your passions, that there's like a lot of forward progress and momentum. But I do feel like there's something that's kind of blocking that at the current moment. So we've got to get to the bottom of it. Page of Wands. So we need to be careful that we don't jump into something we're unsure of head first, okay? Because there could be repercussions. So think about it before you jump in head first, especially love, because that could be something that maybe you don't know this person very well. So use a little bit of caution there. Regardless, there's going to be some major changes in your world this week, okay? Especially as we approach Tuesday with the fire horse year. Ironically, we have fire there, okay? So quick changes. I feel like things really gain momentum for you this week, Pisces, where you've really had to wait. You've really had to be patient. That's being removed. So expect some major changes in your world that leads to a wish fulfillment and potentially partnership. Interesting. Okay, Pisces, what do we need to see? All right, we have the little tooth fairy here, so maybe you need a checkup. I also feel like this is wish fulfillment's coming in. We have the dinosaur, so even though it's taken a long time, expect the changes, and especially it could be in love. And we have a little lizard. So watch out for people who are trying to maybe weasel their way into your world that you're unsure of. Again, don't jump into something head first you're unsure of, but I do feel like things definitely change quickly for you, Pisces. All right, that's what we have for Pisces. Next up is Scorpio. All right, so Scorpio is next. Let's clean this up. Welcome to anybody who's watching. This is the first time we're doing this live for your week ahead. So if you guys like it, leave me a comment and let me know. We're going to try and do more of these, but can't promise it'll be every single week. Okay, Scorpio. What's going on for you guys? So we're not taking any personals during today's live. You can book with me by shooting me an email. I know it's sideways. I tried to fix it. It won't let me because I'm already live. So apologies. We'll fiddle with it next time. I am kind of always sideways anyway. All right, Scorpio, what's going on for you this week? Ooh, Scorpio, you need to raise your vibration. So you can use that as a mantra or like a daily affirmation that you're going to raise your vibration. They're drawing me to the rainbow colors on the card. So you need to energize all of your chakras is what I'm getting. That you need to actually like ground, clear, meditate. So we're going to clear. All right, Scorpio, what's going on for you this week? What is happening, Scorpio? Ooh, Stella got her groove back. Okay. What is happening this week for Scorpio? Weird how the fire signs are getting similar messages. Water signs are getting similar messages. What's happening this week? Okay, interesting. So, Scorpio, I do get the sense that you're going to make some bold moves this week. Queen of Wands is somebody who's known as a master manifester, but I feel like you better get really clear on your intentions. Make sure that you're grounded, and also that you need to raise your vibration, right? Because you want to attract the best possible outcome of whatever it is that you're working on. So confidence, they're giving me the words air of illusion. That's strange. So I feel like maybe you use that to your advantage. Maybe you're somebody that's like a little mysterious. Scorpios typically tend to be. I do think you've got a lot of things that are passion projects that are coming in, but there's this want to jump in head first, and you need to use some caution. I do think for some of you, you're headed towards a commitment in love, but I feel like you both need to be on the same page, and maybe one of you is unsure whether it's worth it or not, okay? So you could be reclaiming your power, your confidence. Maybe you're breaking some cycles that don't work for you. I also feel like you're trying to decide whether you really want this or not. It needs to be equal give and take. And if something is not, if it's toxic, if it's not meant for you, Spirit might be trying to remove that. So you could be going solo, or, and it's a big or, you could be going towards marriage and commitment. Justice card, plus we have the 10 of Cups here. So some of you could be thinking about the long term, right? But you're reclaiming your power. So is this balanced, or is there something that needs work here? You're going to have to decide what you want, okay? Okay, Scorpio, we have a you. I feel like your focus needs to be on you, little old you this week, and decide what needs to change. We have a sloth, so maybe slow things down. Don't jump in head first, especially to signing contracts if you're unsure of what you actually want. And we have a star, so wish fulfillment is coming in divine timing. Remember, think logically, and you need to raise your vibration this week, Scorpio. That way you're going to be in alignment and good things will come to you. All right, let me write down a timestamp. Okay, next up is Gemini. Let's see what we've got going on for Gemini. You guys will be able to watch this on replay. Anybody that catches it like in the middle and you're like, oh, I missed my sign, I'm time stamping them so you guys can watch them after the fact. Gemini, what's going on for you this week? Let's get some good shuffles going. What is the energy for Gemini this week? There we go. Ooh, Spirit wants you to know that you're safe here. So sometimes I feel like we get in these ruts where it's like we don't feel like we hear from Spirit, or we feel kind of left out in the cold or abandoned in some way, shape, or form. So Spirit's trying to show us that we're safe, we're loved, we're cared for, and we need to realize that at this time. All right, Spirit, what's the energy next 7 days for Gemini, please? Okay, ooh, love that. Okay, Empress energy. I want to make sure these are all showing up for you guys to see them. I think they are. Ooh, love that. Okay, you're going to have a big week, Gemini. So we start with the Empress energy. She's known as the Divine Feminine. She symbolizes creation, creativity, gentleness, right? Nurturing, affection. It's also receiving energy. So Spirit wants you to know that you're safe. What they're giving me energetically is that you need to calm your nervous system in order to receive your blessing. Okay, Ace of Pentacles is the card that indicates that we are being gifted something from Spirit that leads to abundance. Are you open to receive? If your nervous system is dysregulated and you feel in a panic all the time, it's not going to come in. So you need to regulate that. You need to ground, meditate, and breathe. We do have the Eight of Cups, so that's an indication that we're walking away from something that we've tried everything and it just doesn't work. So we're going in a different direction. But that different direction leads to some sort of victory, fame, fortune, reward, or public recognition. This is something that you've been working on a long time, and I feel like maybe you've been passed up for promotions or raises, things like that. Not anymore. This is something you've been really working for, and once you feel safe, Spirit's going to bring in some sort of blessing. So you need your courage this week. You need to put your brave face on. Again, we need to be in balance. So you can't pour from an empty cup. Ironically, she's pouring something into a cup. You have to give yourself love, care, and compassion first. That will make you feel safe, which gives you the strength to face your fears, to make a decision. This is a lot of indecision here about leaving something or someone behind. So once you feel safe, you're going to be able to think more clearly and be able to make those clear choices and decisions. So think logically and then decide. All right, what do we have? Yes, anchoring in stability here, okay? And so some permanence. Maybe you're unsure of if you're going to be permanent someplace or in a relationship. You will be. You're going to put some roots down. We have the whale's tail. So I do feel like you're going to be making waves somewhere, especially if you all of a sudden become potentially famous or well-known. And there's some sort of illusions that are being revealed in order to give you the clarity you need to make the decision that you are hesitating on. Remember, your theme this week is that you are safe. Get grounded, balance yourself out, and then clearly decide what it is that you want or don't want, and let those things go so you can head towards your victory. Gemini, that's what I have for you. All right, next up is Libra. Your timestamp, Libra, starts at 3333. Very interesting. 3 and 33 are very powerful numbers. They are master numbers. So if you're curious, look those up. See what that means for you guys. Libra, what do we have going on for you this week? Get the right deck first. All right, Libra, what's happening for you? Got 2 of them, we're only taking 1. All right. Your aura is magnetic to golden opportunities. So really, really important for you that you stay grounded, okay? Not like you're a bad kid, you need to go to your room, you're grounded. No, grounded as in balanced, okay? that you're not stuck in your head, that you're not floating around out there in the ethers, that you are grounded to make yourself a magnet to golden opportunities. I do think you're going to have some positive changes coming in this week, especially because we are starting to hit the energy of the fire horse. The Chinese New Year officially starts, or the Lunar New Year starts on the 17th. That's when that energy officially is there for us to tap into. Okay, what's happening for Libra? Okay, some teamwork. You might have some collaborations, some business dealings going on. There could be some things ending with the job as well. But I feel like it has to get you some closure, is the word Spirit's giving me, in order to maybe build your own empire. Okay, I think you're about to make some big changes when it comes to your career sector this week. So what I'm seeing is that we're going to need to figure out what's working for us and what's not really strongly. And if work is not working, then we're going to make some detours or changes, right? We're going to close something out and make it final. We have the World, so we're completing a difficult chapter in our life in order to move forward. And I love that in this deck, they're actually in a vehicle. Okay, and because they're going forward, right? We're not in reverse, we're moving forward, we're making progress. So travel, movement, relocation, you might be traveling the world this year. I do think that it's time. It's time for you to leave certain things, people, or situations behind, walk away from what's not serving you. If people aren't being a team player, it's time to say no. It's time to close chapters. And as a result, you're coming full circle and moving in a different direction. For some of you, you might be starting your own business. You might have a partnership, okay? Queen of Pentacles is an indication that you are headed towards a big step, a big change in your career sector, but it's going to take some time. So slow and steady wins the race. However, she's somebody that can really create something out of almost nothing. And so it's almost like you have all these tools in order to really start fresh, start something new. And in this deck, she is a faith-based healer. So that might be something you're contemplating, starting a business like that, or just having a lot of faith that things will work out, right? Because you are a magnet for golden opportunities, and especially I feel like in business. So can we close a chapter and shift our perspective this week to see, we're taking a detour. We're going in a different direction. And I do feel like it has to do mostly with work and finances that you're going to change course, because you need to be paid your worth this week. And so if that's not happening, there's new opportunities coming in order for that to happen. So you might be telling an employer, I'm out, peace, see ya, and going in a different direction. I also feel like this is something where your reputation is actually going to help you to attract these opportunities. So positive changes in your finances, but closing chapters in order to get there. All right, we have a cat. So the witch is familiar. You might have a little furry friend that's going to be like your office mate, is what I'm picking up. Lots of change and transformation that starts with changing your perspective, how you view things. Anything hidden will be revealed, any sort of illusions, any sort of negativity, it comes to the surface so that you're able to change course. And we have the ballet slippers. So I feel like you could be living they're giving me the word extravagant, a more extravagant life, a more exciting life. I feel like you're going to be able to attend, like, you know, maybe things that you couldn't afford before, like the ballet. Maybe you're going to get tickets to a show or something. Maybe there's, you know, forward movement. I see like little feet running in my mind right now. So lots of positive changes coming in. Your theme this week is that you're a magnet to golden opportunities. That's what we have for Libra. Next up is Aquarius. All right. Hello and welcome to everyone that's watching. We're just not doing any personals in this live. If you'd like to book with me, my email is how you do so. Shoot me an email. My readings start at $10 for a mini reading of anything that I offer. And then we have $25 for a full tarot reading. It's $100 for a mediumship session, or you can bundle all of them together. All right, so let's see what we've got going on for our Aquarius. My aqua sauce, what's going on for you this week? Aquarius, what's the theme for you this week? Ooh, clear your karma. Okay. So we're trying to balance things out in that regard. Aquarius, I feel like if you're paying stuff forward, right? If you're paying into good karma, then you're going to start to see good karma return to you. It works like a boomerang. So if you think of it as a scale, and what's coming to mind, I can't remember what the deity's name was. I want to say it was Osiris, the god of the underworld in Egyptian mythology. And he would have a scale and he would weigh your heart against a feather. And if your heart was heavier than a feather, it means that you had bad karma in that life and you didn't go to heaven. You went to the underworld or to hell. And if it was, or if it was equal, then you ascended into the afterlife, right? So Spirit is showing me that you guys are working on really clearing out negativity in your life so that you can actually move forward in a really positive way, creating the balance. See how we have a scale here and there's a scale here, right? We're trying to create balance in our life, but there's some indecision going on. So I feel like we're going to be making some big changes. We're going to give you that one too because it came out. So it's important. All right. So the Knight of Wands or Knight of Bones in this deck is telling you that there's some flighty energy here. This could be a person that you're dealing with. It could be your energy. So take it however it happens to resonate. But the Knight of Wands is really quick moving energy, and we are entering the year of the Fire Horse officially on Tuesday the 17th. So I feel like there's not only going to be some forward momentum, but things start to happen quickly. Things start to balance out for you quickly. There could be a court case that's being resolved in a positive way. There could be some justice being served because you're clearing your karma out in a positive way. So there's a lot of things that will change quickly for you over the next 7 days forward. There could be a resolution to like a will, an inheritance, a settlement. We have the 10 of Pentacles. So this is telling us that we're coming into a large sum of money. So whether that's signing a contract, whether that's an inheritance, a lottery win, something to do with courts, contracts, and legalities, right? Signing of some sort of agreement, and there's some indecision. I do feel like this benefits you greatly. So think about it logically before you decide, but there's definitely some indecision there. I also feel like there's an unexpected love offer that's coming in that might take you a little bit by surprise. So you're going to need some confidence and some courage here, some strength in order to overcome the fear that I feel like is attached with this. And you'd also need to shift your perspective and see the situation differently as a whole. I also am picking up that for some of you, you're worried if you come into a lot of money that someone might try and take that from you. So definitely use some caution. I wouldn't advertise if you like won Powerball or something tomorrow. I wouldn't let too many people know that. All right. We also need some balance. There is the chance for a reconciliation. It could be a shocking love offer that comes in. I feel like there's been a lot of delays around that as well. All right. What do we need to see for Aquarius? Okay, we have the letter E, could be in your name or their name. We have the leaf, right? We're going to turn over a new leaf. We're trying something different, stepping out of a comfort zone. And there's some sort of ending that gives way to a new beginning. It says graduation is not the end, it's the beginning. So you're going in a totally different direction as well this week towards something more balanced. Your shift in perspective, I feel like, is what helps you to actually make that progress and get those offers coming in. So think about it. Don't jump in head first. Remember, we're clearing our karma this week. So anything unaligned or negative, it's got to go. That's what I have for you, Aquarius. Next up is Virgo. We're going to start our earth signs. Get a time stamp here. All right. Virgo, let's see what's going on for you guys. Hello, welcome in everybody. Virgo, what have we got going on for you? The world is blessed to have you. Blessings always, right? So I feel like you need to ground your energy. There's something going on internally that I'm picking up that you feel kind of all over the place. And so if you get more grounded, maybe you need some time in sunshine. Maybe you need some fresh air, right? There's a lot on your to-do list is what I'm picking up. So don't forget to take some downtime and realize that you're a blessing and others are blessed to have you. All right, Spirit, what's going on for Virgo? Virgo. Ooh, that was a crummy shuffle. Virgo. There we go. Ooh, endings. Yeah, we're definitely ending some cycles, right? So death, rebirth, transformation, cyclical energy. Something's leaving your life, but I feel like you're either confused or you're really undecided. And so you might have had, I should say, a lot of options when it came to love. Maybe there was some rejection there. So however that happens to resonate for you, I feel like maybe you didn't want a lot of options. Maybe you wanted a specific option and maybe that has ended. I do feel like for some of you it was a long-term commitment or even possibly a marriage. So you could be going through like a divorce or a separation. But this is part of your growth and ascension. The Hierophant is a card that tells us that once we reach enlightenment, we've learned most of the lessons we needed to know. We've gained some knowledge from that. We come back down from there and we realize that we've learned what we needed to learn. I do feel like for some of you, there was an ending that kind of happened before things really got off the ground. So there's some closure here that needs to happen for you in a love relationship. Just because you were rejected by somebody doesn't mean that true love doesn't exist for you. But I feel like you aren't ready to walk away. What's funny is the only card that's upright is death. So this tells us this has to come to a completion. It's over with. You've got to make your, you've got to like make amends or accept that it's done. So I do feel like there was rejection here. I feel like you waited around for this person out of indecision and that something has to change, right? Your hopes and dreams might have been crushed. There were some things that it just didn't work out. So I do feel like there was a major ending here, or there will be. Remember that if something is leaving your life right now, it's meant to. The cycle has to come to a close in order for you to be able to move forward. Okay, Virgo, what do we have? Yes, see, new beginnings are coming in. Could be with love. The Sun is seen as the happiest card in tarot. So new beginnings, fresh starts, marriage, children, commitment, all those things should you want them. The Bee, there's some miracles that are coming in, as well as you're about to be extremely busy. So maybe Spirit removed this because you're not going to have enough time to devote to that. We have the Bleeding Heart. So I do think there's been some tears shed on this, but Spirit's trying to help you to heal. You might need a checkup. We have the little tooth fairy here, so dental checkups and things like that. I do feel like you have a wish fulfillment coming in, and we have another Sun. So you could be meeting somebody in Leo season, which is midsummer, like July to August. I do feel like this is a fresh start and a new beginning for you because you're clearing something out that wasn't meant for you. Interesting reading. Virgo, that's what I have for you. Up next, we have Taurus. All right, let's get all these picked up. Hope everybody's having a good Sunday. Hope everybody had a good, I keep wanting to say like a totally different holiday, but a really good Valentine's Day. I kept in my head it was Thanksgiving, and then just now I heard New Year's. My brain's all over the place today. All right, Taurus, Sun, Moon, Rising, and Venus. What do we have going on for you? Taurus, please. What is the energy this week for Taurus? All right. Ooh, honesty is the best policy. It always is, right? Okay, so I really feel like you need to be truthful, honest, and upfront with yourself and others this week. If something is kind of like, I don't really want to say it, I feel like you have two options. You can either tell the truth or you can keep your mouth shut. Whichever happens to work best for you at the moment. Okay, what's going on for Taurus? Okay, ooh, we have some indecision and juggling going on. All right, Taurus, I feel like you're facing some sort of decision of maybe something's been imbalanced because of lies. I feel like people have maybe tried to manipulate you or walk all over you. Maybe they've crossed your boundaries, and so you're probably a little hesitant to go forward because of that energy. What I do pick up is that you need to shift your perspective somewhere, but I will tell you that if somebody can't be honest with you, it's probably not company you want to keep. So shift your perspective and see the bigger picture of what's really going on. There is a choice needing to be made about love. Don't kind of wear rose-colored glasses this week. Be honest with yourself about what's really going on. If this person is lying to you repeatedly, that's a pattern, and you need to evaluate if that's something you want to tolerate or not. And I feel like you've been kicking this decision back and forth of whether this is someone that you want to be with or if you can trust them. And if you can't trust them, that's a big red flag, and I would say that you probably should let it go. Queen of Wands in reverse. We're lacking confidence and courage, and that's blocking your blessings. So she's a master manifester, but in the reverse, those manifestations are not coming in how they expected. So I feel like you have to kind of get back to basics, honesty, so that you can come into alignment. And then there's been a lot of delays. Spirit sees everything. So if somebody's been deceiving you, they're not going to allow things to keep progressing unless you need to learn a lesson from this. So if there's delays, there's a reason for that. Okay, we need to get clear on our boundaries moving forward. And something is blocking your manifestations. See things differently. If what you're manifesting with this person just isn't happening, Spirit's blocking it for a reason, because there's something that you don't see here, some sort of deception. So be honest with yourself. Okay, yeah. The truth or the clarity is going to come out. We're going to have a light bulb moment, and the truth, I feel like, is what changes things. I do feel like you're cutting some people out of your life, right? Cutting cords, energetic ties, eliminating things that are holding you back. And we do have a feather, so that tells us that Spirit is going to help the truth come out. They're going to help assist you, and they're going to help guide you where you need to be. That will also help your manifestations try to come in. That's what I have for Taurus. Next up is Capricorn. It's our final sign. All right, Capricorn. Okay, let's see what your theme is this week, Capricorn. Hello and welcome to anyone that's watching us. You guys will be able to watch this on the replay. It will be time-stamped in the comments after it's done being played. All right, what do we have for Capricorn? My breath connects me to life. You're going to need some deep breathing this week. Grounding, meditation, all of those are beneficial. Breath work. All that is a lot of deep breathing, but really feeling the energy. So putting your hands on your chest, and with every inhale, feeling that chest rise, hold it for 4 seconds, and exhale slowly. So doing that 3 or 4 times in a row, it's actually clearing and energizing all of your chakras or your energy points throughout your spine, and that's going to help put you back in alignment. Imagine your feet planted firmly on the ground, and imagine roots growing out of your feet into the earth to anchor you for stability. And then we go chakra by chakra all the way up through the top. There's guided meditations here on YouTube you can find. I would recommend you do some of those this week. It's going to help you in order to connect to that life force. All right, remember to breathe. It's going to be important. Okay, what do we have going on for you this week? Could be some new love opportunities coming in for you. I do feel like you're hesitating to cut something or someone off as well. Interesting. So there's some lack of confidence here. Again, manifestations not coming in, things that you really want. I feel like it's important for you to communicate effectively what you want and what you don't want this week, and walk away from what doesn't serve your highest good. You do have a wish fulfillment that's also trying to come in that could lead to love, stability, romance, as well as partnership. So I feel like you really need to kind of take some deep breaths this week. I feel like you probably have a lot going on in your world, and some things just aren't quite what they appear to be right now. So while we do have some fulfilling love coming in, start with self-love and self-care. Some of that might be you need to ground and meditate, right? Breathe, okay? You have some stuff that's changing. And then I feel like you have the opportunity starting to come in. The Queen of Swords in the reverse can be really hard to deal with. She could be somebody that is like aggressive. She can be really cold, really demanding. Somebody that is like kind of a tyrant. So we want to be careful with that. Could be an authority figure, but you want to use some caution. Facts and figures work with this person, but emotions do not. So be careful. We also have the Queen of Wands over here, Queen of Bones. So there's some lack of confidence here. I feel like that's also delaying where you want to be. So self-love and self-care, right? Pour into your own cup, eliminate the toxic stuff around you, and then you will find your confidence. Communicate what you want, communicate what you don't want, but there is communication coming in. It could also be of love. You are going to be leaving something behind. The question is, what is it? Don't sacrifice you anymore in this next leg of your journey. You've got to take good care of you. But I feel like you are closing some chapters and walking away from something. Could be a love relationship that never went anywhere. And so you're cutting your losses and going in a different direction towards a wish fulfillment. For some of you, I feel like you really do want love and romance in your world. I also feel like you want commitment. Even if it's not marriage, signed legal documents, you want a solid commitment. You want something stable. Communicate that to anybody that's in your life in that capacity. Okay, what do we have? We have the little notebook, so you might need to take notes on something. There could be some important things you need to write down. We have like Hansel and Gretel, so don't settle for breadcrumbs is what they're giving me. I feel like that just won't do. Say no to that. We have the handcuffs, so there could definitely be some coupling coming up, right? That might be a wish fulfillment, union, marriage, things like that, togetherness. You're turning over a new leaf, but you're looking for stability. You're looking for something that actually is a wish fulfillment, and you're changing. So let this transformation take place. Death, rebirth, transformation, transmutation, all of these things are going to help get you to this wish fulfillment where you're eventually going to bloom and grow. I feel like there's some photos that are going to be taken. We have the little rabbit, which is a symbol of fertility, maybe baby pictures, things like that. Whatever it is, I feel like it's going to be an important memento. So take those photos. It could be like you're going on a vacation, could be wedding photos, things like that, but something where you're going to have like a memory as a result of all of these things that you're doing. All right, that's what we have for Capricorn. I'm going to catch up with the chat. I'm going to clean my mess up here real quick. What do you think? Do you guys like this better as a live, or would you rather just have it in a video? Comment and let me know. So that is all 12 zodiac signs. I'll do another live later this week for regular readings and stuff, but definitely wanted to come on and do a live. Someone says they don't believe in card reading, it's fake. So why are you in here if you don't believe in it? I always think that's so silly that people even waste their energy to come comment they don't believe in it. That's like, if you don't believe, don't watch it. Scroll on past. Take your negativity with you. We don't need it. Anyways, that's what I have for you guys. We'll see you next time. Have a great rest of your week.